Live from downtown Macon, you're watching WGX8 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Greg Lloyd, and thank you for staying with WGX8 News at 5. We're continuing coverage tonight of breaking news from the nation's capital. A live look now from our sister station WJLA on scene of a shooting situation near the University of D.C. You can tell it's very active. Authorities say that at least 2 men and a woman have been shot. Right now, no word on their condition. Police calling it an active threat, and a shelter-in-place order has been given to residents in the nearby area. We'll continue to monitor this situation and bring you developments as they occur. Well, Bibb's Board of Education members have identified the person they want to replace retiring Superintendent Dr. Curtis Jones. And despite impassioned pleas from business leaders and even one of their own, their candidate is not one from inside the district.
The school board meeting lasted hours, but the issue everyone waited for came in the last 15 minutes of the night. The vote on candidates to be Bibb County's next superintendent to replace the retiring Dr. Curtis Jones. But only one name made their list, Dr. Dan Sims, an associate superintendent for Atlanta Public Schools. However, not every board member thought it was a good idea. Just before the final vote, at-large Post 7 school board member Daryl Morton took the floor.
Sorry, I have agonized over this for a long time.
Morton said graduation rates soared since Dr. Jones took the post in 2015 from the 50 percentile range to now exceeding 80%. He added special education graduation rates also spiked from 42% to 66%. Morton also noted that graduation rates of Bibb County's African American students now exceed the state average.
I believe that an internal candidate is the best one to move this system forward, to continue the victory and progress that is already happening, to maintain the relationships that we have built up with our stakeholders.
Morton's plea is one that echoed in the community. Just this week, the acting president of the Greater Macon Chamber said that many business leaders believe a candidate who served under Dr. Jones is the only option.
We have increased graduation rates from 58% to 81% in 7 years. We've increased third grade reading scores tremendously, as well as we've actually reduced taxes and given teachers pay raises.
And Shipman adds the business community has taken note.
I'm speaking on behalf of the business community. 800 plus businesses, membership businesses that want great products, and the products are great students.
And I believe that promoting an internal candidate to superintendent is the best way to continue that progress.
Dr. Lisa Garrett joined Morton in voting no and advancing Sims as the district's sole superintendent finalist. However, the rest of the board, Dr. Thelma Dillard, Kristen Hanlon, James Freeman, Dr. Sandra Woodford, Jawan Jackson, and Murtis Johnson all voted yes. Following last night's vote, Bibb Board of Education President Dr. Thelma Dillard said in part, quote, "I am confident in our decision to follow the process and identify a superintendent who will be a strong leader for our district and guide the work necessary to help students excel and become model citizens."
Georgia law requires the board wait at least 2 weeks before making a superintendent's appointment official, even in the case of a sole candidate recommendation like this. Now, during this period, the candidate and the board will come to terms on a contract that includes salary. We will keep you updated as the story develops. Well, we are just a month away from Georgia's next election day, the May primaries, and we want to make sure you know some important dates that are coming up. The last day to register to vote is just a few days away, Monday, April 25th. Early voting starts the following Monday, May 2nd. Monday through Friday hours vary depending on your county, but most open polls are open from 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening. Then the 2 Saturday voting days are May the 7th and 14th. Again, hours can change per county, but normally they're between 9 and 5 p.m. Change in a Georgia website may have resulted in a sharp drop in people registering to vote as they get their driver's licenses. A report from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution found that some Georgians registering or updating information through the Department of Driver Services fell 40% from 2020 to last year. That's because the website changes from automatically registering people to having them opt in to the process. DDS says they have reverted that option. And staying with politics tonight, an attempt to bar Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from her re-election bid had its first day in court. Now, the case was brought against her by a group of voters who feel that Greene broke the disqualification clause in the Constitution. That clause says an office holder who backs an insurrection is prohibited from another term. In opening statements, the attorneys representing the challengers say that Greene, quote, helped facilitate violent resistance against the government, while her lawyers argued she was a victim of the attack. While on the stand, Greene said she had no knowledge that the Capitol riot would take place. She also stood fast on her thoughts that Biden lost to Trump and that voter fraud was real. Traffic news for you now. More changes are coming to downtown Macon's roadways as GDOT continues to work on the Otis Redding Memorial Bridge, along with I-16 and I-75 improvements. Sunday, 3 new lanes heading out of downtown will open, while traffic will be shifted onto the middle lanes of the bridge so that construction can continue. Also, the left turn onto Riverside Drive from the bridge will open back up. Law enforcement agencies across America have been saying they're short for months, if not years. To combat that crisis, the Baldwin Sheriff hosted a huge event. They weren't alone either. The Sheriff's Office teamed up with several local colleges, the Associations for State Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, and the NAACP. The event wasn't just for Baldwin County. The Sheriff's Office also helped people apply to any agency in Georgia. In local crime news, Jones County authorities say a domestic fight led to a man being shot. According to investigator Kenny Gleaton, the shooting happened early Thursday morning on Jones Mill Circle after a fight between a husband and a wife. Gleaton adds that the two lived in separate homes and that the shooting happened at the wife's. Gleaton notes there are conflicting statements, but the evidence shows an assault did indeed happen. Right now, no charges have been filed, and tonight that investigation continues. A Macon rehab clinic finds itself in huge trouble with the federal government after a judge ruled it filed hundreds of false claims to Medicaid and TRICARE. The U.S. Attorney's Office says over a 5-year span between November of 2015 and June of 2020, Brenda Hicks and Middle Georgia Family Rehab filed more than 800 false claims connected to a speech therapist and physical therapist who no longer worked at the clinic. Each false claim can carry a fine of $5,500 to more than $20,000, putting the amount they could owe between $4 and $17 million. The judge in the case said it wasn't an honest mistake. Hicks and the clinic are due to appear for a damages hearing May 2nd in Macon. Bibb deputies are investigating after a man was hit and killed in Macon this morning. In a release, deputies say that Matthew Haggerty was hit by a Chevy truck this morning around 5:30 near the Sunoco gas station on Spring Street. According to Bibb coroner Leon Jones, Haggerty was homeless and known to camp in downtown near where that accident happened. With that investigation ongoing, deputies want to hear from anyone who has any information. An early morning crash sent several people to the hospital, including school children here in Macon. What we know is that a truck rear-ended a bus. In fact, you can look at this video and see the damage. Deputies also told WGXA this happened around 9 this morning on Jeffersonville Road. Several adults and children were taken to Atrium for treatment of minor injuries. We are told that no tickets have been given and no arrests have been made. Well, a clear plan is emerging as Russia continues its invasion of Ukraine. For the first time, the Russian army is admitting it wants to take full control of southern Ukraine and the Donbass region. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces are holding out in key cities in the south, and new satellite images confirm mass graves outside the besieged city of Mariupol. Gloria Pazmino has the latest, and again, you may find some of these images disturbing.
Russian forces are pushing ahead in the southeast of Ukraine with the clear goal to take full control of the south and the Donbas region. It's the first time the Russian military admits its plan to establish a land bridge through Ukraine's southern region. It comes as Ukraine receives a fresh round of U.S. support to fight back.
In particular, it is artillery, shells, drones.
Russia's strategy would connect Russia to Crimea, the peninsula it annexed in 2014. Nearly 60 days into the invasion, the Russian army has only managed partial control of southern Ukraine. Ukrainian forces in the region have stood their ground in the key cities of Mykolaiv and Odessa. In the besieged city of Mariupol, soldiers continue to hold out at a steel plant. As many as 1,000 civilians and soldiers are believed to be taking shelter there.
Mariupol is the beating heart of Ukraine today. Our guys are outnumbered 10-15 times.
In Rubizhna, as firepower continues to rain down on them, Ukrainians take shelter.
I want to go home, she says. I've suffered too much.
Satellite images show what appear to be mass graves outside Mariupol. Ukrainian officials say it points to war crimes, claiming Russian forces dug up trenches and buried bodies. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
And to weather now, and Gary Thigpen in tonight for Chief Meteorologist Eric Garlick. And Gary, it has been beautiful this week. I'm hoping that the warm sunshine and these beautiful skies continue this weekend.
Well, good evening, Greg, and good evening, everybody. Well, that's one hope that is going to come true this weekend, Greg. Looking at downtown Warner Robins right now. This is from the campus of GMC on the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. We still have those beautiful blue skies out there. Temperature is 81 degrees. Temperatures all around the mid-state right now are in the low 80s, and looking at our evening planner, by 9 o'clock 70, 11 o'clock 65 degrees. Tomorrow we got all the sunshine. We're back in the 80s. I'll give you more details on your weekend forecast and also when our next chance of rain is coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Greg.
Thank you, Gary. Well, the USFL relaunch is 1 weekend, and the gridiron battles continue this weekend with a handful of games. It's part of a huge sports weekend, including here in the South.